Okay, so for this project I'm going to use 3 pieces of vinyl and some acrylic paint and an A4 plain canvas. I designed the snowflakes and the wording in ScanNCut canvas, and I measured the size of this canvas and drew a rectangle in ScanNCut canvas the same size as this, and I used that as an idea or a guide for placement for my snowflakes and my word. If you want to see how I did that, just leave me comments under this video and I'll do another video. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the snowflakes, which are going to run kind of in this section here, this bottom left hand section, and I'm going to use this cream coloured vinyl that I've got already on the mat to cut those out in. Now they're not going to be in cream, this is going to be my stencil for my paint, so it doesn't matter what colour you use. I'm probably not likely to use this colour, so I'm just using this to waste it really, if you like. So I've got the pattern coming over on Wi-Fi. Click on the Wi-Fi icon and that's brought the design in. So the first thing I'm going to do is save it into the machine, because I need to cut it in parts or in sections, so I need to be able to refer back to it. So it's told me that it's saved. Now I'm going to say OK. So I'm going to get rid of the words and I'm going to get rid of these 4 random snowflakes that are in the top right hand corner, which I'm not sure whether you can see or not, but because it's this section I want to use down here. So I'm just deleting these for now. They're not deleted permanently because I've saved the file, but they're just for now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to scan this mat through the machine and I'm going to position these snowflakes on this mat. Now this piece of vinyl is a lot bigger than my canvas, and I've done it like that on purpose because I want it to kind of overlap the edges on the left and on the top and the bottom, so hopefully I can just hold it down a bit better while I'm doing the painting. So I want the snowflakes on the screen to be kind of equally positioned top and bottom, but over to the left. So I'm going to say OK and I'm going to do a background scan. So these are all grouped because I did that in canvas. So I'm just going to move it up. So I've got a bit of a gap here and a gap top and bottom. And I've got my blade set on 2. I've got the cut pressure set on 0 and my speed on 5 as always. And I'm going to say OK and cut. And it's saying it's going to take up to 4 minutes. Okay, that's finished now, so I'm going to unload the mat and just push the machine out of the way for now. We'll take this off the mat. Okay, I can see the design. Normally now, with a vinyl, you would peel away the vinyl and leave the pattern behind. But because I'm using this as a stencil, we want to weed out the actual snowflake patterns, and we're going to use all this that's left. So I'm just going to try and weed these out if I can see them. This vinyl that I'm using is a business grade vinyl. It's what is used in sign writing for shops and for cars, that kind of thing. And that's why I have my blade set on to normal vinyl that you buy for craft. I can normally cut on about 1.5, something like that. Just being careful what I'm taking out and what I'm leaving behind. Okay, so I'll just show you what I'm doing. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but I'm weeding out what we would normally use and leaving the space behind, because this is what we're going to paint through. So I'm just going to carry on and I'll be back when I've done it all. Okay, so I've weeded out. This is all the scrap, which I'm going to throw away. And now I'm just going to trim up this piece of vinyl because it's a bit too wide. So I'm going to position this vinyl now on top of the canvas, and when I designed this, I designed it so that some of the snowflakes would hang over the edge. Some of these tiny pieces on this vinyl are not wanting to stick, so I don't know how I'm gonna get on. In fact, I think I'm going to remove these altogether, because I can see that they're going to cause me trouble when I come to start using the paint. Okay, so this is transfer tape. This is a kind of, it looks a bit like masking tape. You can get clear stuff, but this is what I'm going to use for this project. I just need enough to cover the design. And it is reusable, so you can roll it back on the roll. So I'm going to smooth it out. I'm going to remove the backing, and I'm filming this video at night, so it looks a bit bright, so I'm sorry about that, but I think if I turn the lights off it may be too shady. To bring the canvas in now, and I want to position it so that the snowflakes come kind of in this corner, and I want them to kind of overhang the edge of the canvas. That's how I designed it. I don't want them all just kind of plonked on, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to eyeball roughly where it is. I think it can come down a bit more. Now I'm going to peel away I don't know how well this vinyl is going to stick to the canvas, with the canvas having a texture. Because I've not actually done this before, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so that's how we're looking so far. So I'm going to turn it over and rub it down from the back in the hope that I can get the vinyl to stick to this canvas enough for me to be able to apply my paint. I'm going to fold this over the back. Don't know how I'm going to go on these edges where it's folding round the bend. But my plan is not to use a lot of paint. I want to use my paint sparingly. And I don't want to go over this masking tape, so I only want to apply the paint here. So now I've got some acrylic paint, just ordinary acrylic paint, which I've had for ages. So again, I don't know how this is going to perform. But my plan is that I'm going to put some in this plate and I'm going to use a sponge, dab it off onto this tissue paper to get rid of most of the wetness, and then just dab it over here and see how I go. So I've got a little piece of sponge which I've cut into a wedge. It's a circle of sponge, I've cut it into quarters, and I'm just going to hold it and dab it in this paint, and then I'm going to dab it off onto this kitchen roll, which I've got some paper underneath, so in case it comes through the kitchen roll, it won't go onto my desk. So I want it fairly dry, and then I'm just going to kind of pounce it through. I don't want it very dark. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Just being careful on these edges where the vinyl's wrapped around. And I want this to be fairly subtle, so I'm probably just going to only do this one coat. But depending on the look that you want, that you're doing, you may want to let your layer dry and then apply another layer. I think I'm just going to stick to one because I want the actual vinyl words that I'm going to put on this to stand out more than the snowflakes. that's how it's looking so far. Now I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to peel everything away and see what I've got, and then hopefully go on to the next bit, which is putting the vinyl wording on and then adding a few more snowflakes and some embellishment. So I'm just going to come back to my saved data into the machine and find that last pattern I saved and say OK. Then this time I'm going to select the snowflakes and put them in the bin, and I'm going to leave the other snowflakes there because I'm going to try and cut this, or 2 lots of vinyl at once. So I'm going to position this dark blue vinyl here, and I'm going to position the grey over here. I'm going to scan it through the machine again and position the words on the blue and the other little snowflakes on the silver if this piece is big enough. I'm not sure if this is big enough or not. Okay, so I'm going to send that to cut now. So you're not going to be able to see the words, but I can see them. So I'm just going to chop off this vinyl here just to save the vinyl so I'm not wasting it. Because I can use that for another project, and the same here. So this time now, I'm going to weed like we would normally do. So I'm going to peel away all this waste and leave the designs behind. Because we're actually going to use this vinyl as the pattern. We're not using it as a stencil like I did in the first part. So I'm just peeling it away slowly. And I have done other videos on my channel that you can go and have a look at on using vinyl. So these are the snowflakes I'm going to try and stick on the canvas. They're silver. And then I'm going to weed away all this blue now and leave the letters behind, hopefully. And this is quite a swirly font, and I've not cut this in vinyl before, so and it's not that easy for me to see under these electric lights, so I'm literally just going to take my time and start peeling it back. Okay, so there it is. I've had to take a little bit off here because this is very, very, very thin here with these glyphs. So now I'm going to put transfer tape over this. Okay, so I've got the canvas now. I'm going to peel all this back. It's had about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so to dry. It was only put on thinly, so it should be okay to hopefully peel away. Just checking I've got all the bits of vinyl. So that's how we're looking now. I'm going to put the words here, the silver stars around here, and then I'm going to decorate it up a bit more. And I'm just going to smooth it down. And hope that I can get it to release onto this canvas. I'm going to turn it over and rub it from the back. And I'm going to start peeling it away now, and hopefully it'll stay behind. I'm just taking my time, and I'm just going to peel it away very flat. Don't try and pull it up because you'll pull the vinyl up. Just literally pull the vinyl or the transfer tape back on itself. As I say, I'm not actually sure how well this is going to stick on this canvas. Okay, I think it's done. I'm going to put it face down and just burnish. That's how we're looking so far. I think I'm going to do a bit of sponging around the edges. I'm going to apply these other snowflakes and some ribbon and some sparkle and see how we get on. Put that on there actually. Okay, so that's how we're looking so far. Just going to take a bit more paint now and dab it off and kind of ink the edges like you do when you're card making. Okay, here it is all finished. So I've added some silver ribbon, some buttons, and I've added some of this liquid pearl and stardust stickles just in various places. Not sure whether you're going to be able to see it or not. So this video has been a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to show you the process of using the vinyl as a stencil or as vinyl lettering. All as I would say about this glyph, I've showed you how to use this in a previous video. I mean, these letters are cut quite large and this is very, very, very thin. It was a bit of a devil to weed. So I think I might do this as a giveaway on my YouTube channel. If we can get to over 1,500 likes on this project, I'll use a random generator to generate a name and I'll send this out to somebody if you'd like to win it. But anyway, I hope you like the project. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video.